This is the E and M Audio Media Show. I am Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world, along with Mark Professor Williams. This show is truly designed to give you the true value of having your own audio media show with us and so much more. Now let's get on with the show.
Welcome back to another edition of the E&M Audio Media Services Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Professor Mark. I'm also along with my fellow co-host, known as the Healing Voice, Brother Earl Johnson Jr. Brother Earl, let them know who you are.
Hey, everybody, this is Mr. Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world, guys. Guys, you in for a treat today here on the E&M Audio Media Service Show, guys. Guys, we finna get it on and talk about some great things. Why it's important to do what? To have a audio show with us here at E&M Audio Media Services, guys. But before we get off into it, we're gonna have Professor Mark to give you the principles of the matter, how you can contact us and how you can reach us, because it's important that you get your show up and running. And Professor Mark, can you tell them how to reach us?
All right. Well, if you listened to our show before, you know this, but I'm going to repeat it back again, so I'll make sure you get it, because we want you to contact us ASAP. We want you to contact us and get in touch with us so we can help you get that audio media services show up and running. So you can reach us at mediaem04@gmail.com. That is media em04@gmail.com. Hit us up anytime. If you have an idea, if you have a pilot in mind, if you have a show idea, reach out to us and let's get it started. It all begins with you reaching out to us, letting us know that great idea, that show idea, that next big podcast that's out there. Whatever that idea is, reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com. What do you think about that, brother? They need to reach out to us now?
They better reach out to us as soon as possible. Right now would be the right time. Well, not while we're doing the show, but reach out for us to it right now. Just do it. Just do it and get started, because the main thing about doing something, you have to get started. Remember, a trip around the world, first start with that one step. Do that one step so we can get your show up and going. And guess what? It's that time. We're at the end of the months of 2024. So it's time to get started on something, and don't let life pass you by and you sitting up watching somebody else's life and they're getting all the goodies and the principal. It's time for you to step up so you can be the star of the story. So Professor Mark, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I think we have two topics, and correct me if I'm wrong. The first one is we're going to talk about building relationships and how important having an audio podcast in coordination with your other traditional forms of outreach. I mean, people have newsletters, people have an email, people have social media, there's word of mouth, there's TV ads, there's all kind of radio ads. There's a myriad of ways that a brand, an individual, a shop, whatever it is, anywhere in the world has to do traditional outreach. We get that, but taking it to the next level, getting that edge, separating yourself from everyone else, requires you to have an audio podcast. And there's no better service than E&M Audio Media Services for you to come and get that training, that technique, all that you need to build an audio podcast. We have here at E&M Audio Media Services Show. So we want you to listen, we want you to engage, we want you to send our ideas, and then we want you to listen as we talk about how important it is to use this medium, this mic that we're on, and this voice that's been trained on how to engage your audience, your target audience, not just with ads, not just with word of mouth, but with an audio media services show. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, as I mentioned, you have the mic. I mean, I'm looking at the Rodecaster, I'm looking at the laptop, I'm looking at the mics, I'm looking at all the accoutrement that you need to do an audio media services show. But that's just the surface level. I mean, it's a lot of money. I mean, Brother Earl guards his stuff for a reason. I mean, I remember we were one time out and we were going to have a meeting, and he was like, I was like, what? And then he told me how much the stuff costs. So I get it, and that's another reason to come to this show. This is an expensive investment in equipment, and we can do your audio media services show over the phone. It's easy. All you got to do is call us. But to get back to my point, we want to talk to you about building relationships. And then we also want you to talk to you about the mic presence. You know, it's one thing if you've seen a bunch of podcasts, you've seen a lot of content online. I like to consume my stuff on YouTube because there's so many content creators about a myriad of things. But you need to have that training, that personality training. If you look at the top podcasters versus everyone else, one, you'll look at their numbers and you can tell they're getting a lot of interest. They're getting a lot of views. But the thing that separates them from everyone else is their mic presence. They've got something about them because, you know, you're competing with TV, you're competing with radio, you're competing with your everyday life, the laptops, so many things out there for people to engage in. And for you to separate yourself, one, you need to be able to use this to build relationships, but also you need that personality training because you can hear Brother Earl and my personality through the mic. You just can't, get a script and, well, we need to build relationships. You gotta have mic presence and MBDIA EM04. You can't do that. I mean, you're gonna turn people off. So you gotta bring that personality and it has to translate through the mic. So in addition to having all of the equipment for you to use, so you don't have to make that capital investment because it's gonna be expensive, you need to come and get that training so that you can get on these mics and differentiate yourself from everyone else and then build your brand. And it's essential. It's not a need, it's an absolute must. You have to have both the equipment, both the script, all of that, plus you got to have that personality. So that's what we're here to talk about today. What do you think, Brother Earl?
That is excellent. That is excellent, guys. So the first thing we're going to talk about is building relationships, and it's important that you build a relationship, fan base, but fan base is not quite a relationship. You can build a following, right? Building relationships, I mean, you turn your fans into a relationship because it's important that you absolutely know how to build relationships. Why are relationships are so important when you're doing this kind of work? Well, it creates a togetherness. Again, Professor Mark, what is a relationship? What does the word kind of mean? What do you think it kind of means?
When I think of relationships, I think of, usually things pop in my mind, and the thing that pops in my mind is like, there's a technique called power mapping that people use in like the, social space organizing. It's a tool, and what it is you map out relationships between different people and different organizations that you want to basically use, not use a bad word, but use to get a task accomplished. So when a relationship, pops in my mind now I see a bunch of dots that are connected by lines intersecting with other dots. And my father told me one of the most important things. So he told me two very important things that are very practical. One, always shake a man's hand firm and look him in the eye. And two, the most important thing you can have with someone is a relationship. Both of those things have served me well. So when we're talking about relationships, I'm thinking about you building a genuine connection with another person. And it's a give and take. You do something, they do something, and you're doing it to help one another. It's a symbiotic at the best that, you're able to help each other. I mean, this applies to family, this applies to friends, co-workers. And it's important that in this specific space, when we say relationships germane to podcast, we're talking about using this mic, this platform that you're building to build relationships with fans, with potential customers, with other podcasts that you can work with. So it's all of this idea about building bridges, building relationships with other people so that you can use that relationships for mutually beneficial outcomes and goals.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. It's nothing like creating that rapport with people. And it's conducive that you do these things, right? It's okay that you have a post, right? But a post is not the same as you saying it to someone else. Right. And that's what audio podcasting give you, that opportunity, because you get to speak. People get to hear your voice. Right. They get to hear your emotions, all of those great things. And you can't necessarily get that from a post, email, anything that you write out there. That's not going to be there. So remember, in doing this kind of work, you have to stimulate your audience, right? You have to stimulate your fans to turn that into a relationship, right? Building that bond. What you want is people connected to you from the hip. It's almost like having a Siamese twin. You connected with somebody, right? And that connections builds from doing a audio, because people can hear you. Now, video works also, but in video, there are distractions, right? And what are those distractions? Well, all of a sudden I'm watching you on the video. I'm looking at the background. Man, look at that. Look at that wall they got there. What's everything can interfere with that personalized connection. So a video is good, but remember, as human beings, our eyes is distracted to other things. So when we are distracted to other things, guess what? I'm listening to you, but I'm not taking in what you are absolutely saying. So my brain is not taking it in. I'll listen, but I'm looking at everything. My eyes are stimulated from what's in the background, what's going on with you. Oh, I'm looking at your facial expressions or what you're wearing and all of that kind of stuff. It absolutely get in the way. So you can do that, but really, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of the matter, it's best to have an audio podcast or audio show like what we're talking about, because really there's no distraction. When a person listens to you or they put the headphones on to listen to your show, that's going strictly directly into their brain. No matter what's going on beside you, it's hitting the brain. It's hitting everything. So their attention is directly on what you're saying. So it is important that you do an audio podcast with us, because that's how you build relationships. People are mentally, they start getting being with you, loving everything that you do, loving everything that you're talking about, and that relationship have a tendency to grow. You can grow with someone, right? And then they start taking on really wanting to hear you all the time, wanting to buy your products all the time, wanting to whatever you are serving up, they want to be a part of. And that's simply what relationships is all about. What do you think about that, Professor Mark?
As often when you're talking, I'm over here thinking, and I'm thinking, what are concrete examples that are out there now for people to relate to? So when we're talking about having relationships and this works, I mean, the person that comes to my mind that has done this really well, that's got a personality, that understands how to move people, and has done it really well is, and some people may not like him, but he's definitely proven he's got the gift, is Stephen A. Smith. I mean, you see his shows, how he's grown, the show he was on, but also the platform that he's built, and how the personality he has, and how he's been able to grow and grow and grow and grow, and the talent he has. And that's a large example, but you yourself can absolutely build a cult following and grow it over time. If you go on, I challenge people, go on YouTube now. Because I mentioned YouTube because that's where I get a lot of my content, and just start looking at different podcasts, different content creators, and it can be multiple things, and just go and look maybe some of their older videos versus current or near current, and you can see the development. And maybe they started with a couple of hundred, and now there's people on there with a couple of 100,000 or larger, and all it takes is that dedication, that idea, that training, which is again why you contact us at E&M Audio Media Services, MEDIAEM04@gmail.com, because you come and get that training, and you can just see how they built a following, how they built a relationship with their followers. And not only are they getting paid off of them becoming subscribers, they get large enough, then they're getting ad revenue, and then they're getting large enough, and then they're going on to Patreon and other platforms, where you can find us as well, E&M. You see the growth and the development over time. So it just requires you to have that great content, which we help you deliver, and help you produce. And once you do that, you're going to get an audience, because Brother Earl always says everyone can talk, but not everyone can speak. And he also says, which is true, there's an audience for every voice. I mean, you go in there, you have people talking about cooking, gardening, sports, anime. I mean, everything under the sun you can think. And there are people who become regular listeners, and then they develop that platform, and then they're getting brand deals. They're getting ad revenue sharing with whoever it is. They're creating their own, platform, and then doing Patreon. There's a lot of ways that you can monetize it. Once you've built that relationship, sky's the limit. Brother Earl.
Absolutely. The sky's is the limit. And one of the things about building relationships, especially with audio is like up to $3, almost $5 billion business. Because really in audio, you really have people attention, right? I mean, how many of you guys out there who listen to audiobooks? Tons and tons of people all over the world listen to audiobooks. Secondly, how many people go to Sirius Satellite Radio, right? Tons and tons of people go and listen to audio. Audio is the thing that holds people attention. Now you have video. Video will come in second, right? Remember, back in the day, radio was number one, and then came television, right? So it was a 1-2 punch, right? But when you want to build relationships, it's nothing like having people undivided attention, and you can do that through audio.
Yep. Audio
is so important because, hey, people can be in their cars and listening to you. People can be on the subway train and listen to you, right? Yeah, but you can't drive and look at a video.
I mean, you can, but you should. I mean,
but you should.
Yeah, we don't want no accidents out there, so we don't advise that.
We don't advise that. And building relationship is what it's all about, because then you'll learn through us your voice, the sound of your voice. All of the things that we can train you and teach you, and how to have that personality you need on the mic. Right now, I know we all have seen some videos, and people are dull on there, and they sound horrible, and they almost sound like wet paint drying, or screeching on the chalkboard.
That's what I was just thinking. The chalkboard.
These are the things that turn people off. You can't build relationships off of those things. But learning how to build relationship, how to galvanize your audience to a relationship, right? And how to move people in the right way. And again, through our training, and we're going to talk about that training in the second half of this show. But it's important to build relationship and use all the tools of relationships in order to build it, right? And it's tools you don't even know about relationship that we're going to teach you when you come with us here at E&M Audio Media Services, and let us create that show for you. Let us create that audio show, and you'll see, right? Again, don't let time pass you by while other people are getting ahead and you're standing still. That's not how it works, right? Be in the creative mind mode. I tell people this all the time. Be in the creative mind mode. Again, whether you have a business, whether you're running for office, or you just simply want to get information out to the public, right? And build that kind of audience. What'd you say about that, Professor Mark?
I mean, when you were mentioning radio before it was TV, a couple of things came to my mind. One was how important radio was for President FDR. How they would talk about his fireside chats and how he inspired the nation throughout the Depression, but also World War II. I mean, so it works because there was no TV. People had their little radios and were sitting around listening to him. So audio has been around way longer than these new mediums that are out there. Ever since we were able to record sound, it's been audio. And then second, I was, just thinking about how much it takes to develop the talent that you have to be able to employ upon the mics. And you see over time, once you had radio, then you had television, how still important it was. And I'll tie back to politics. We get to the 56 election, I think it was, or 60, when it was Nixon versus Kennedy. And people said that on the radio, Nixon won, but then on the TV, looking at them side by side, Kennedy won. So just imagine if there hadn't been TV, how different history could have been. Words matter. Words are important. And as Brother Earl was saying, you know, we're all active, we're going places, we're doing things, and more likely than not, unless we're in a stationary place like at home or we're taking a break somewhere, we're probably listening to content. And if you're listening to content, then more often than not, you listen to like an ebook, or you listen to some news, or you listen to a podcast. And if you're just thinking everyday life when you're looking around, you know, people on the train going here and there, they've probably got their headphones on, they're listening to music or something like that. So the audio universe out there, as Brother Earl mentioned, is billions of dollars. And again, there's an audience for every voice. So whatever you're talking about, somebody's going to be interested in some part of the planet. So all you have to do is go on these mics and be able to be persuasive and build that audience, and you use that talent to build a relationship, and you're going to be able to grow. You know, you'd be amazed. I mean, you go on, I mean, bet if you go on YouTube and talk about chickpeas or something like that, there's somebody out there talking about peas or something like that and getting views, and then some manufacturer of chickpeas is probably paying for an ad or something like that, and maybe they're, you know, a host on another. There's just so many different ways to employ this talent, this skill set. And all you have to do is write an idea down, have some faith in yourself, reach out to E&M Audio Media Services, and we're going to help you develop that talent. So again, reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com. That's media, em04@gmail.com. And let's make it happen.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. So here's one other thing to take note, right? When we're looking at video are meant for you to demonstrate something visually, right? So if you are not visually or you are not demonstrating something visually to your audience, right? What they gonna do? Just stand there and look at you? You know. So it's a lot of distractions, right? So use video for demonstrating something. If you demonstrating how to say nobody, you're doing a video on folding chairs, right? And you have a chair that people want to know how do you unfold it? How do you make it work?
Did you get inspired by the anniversary of the brawl in Montgomery? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Do a whole podcast on chairs around that.
On chairs, you know, to watch out for flying chairs, you know. But it is use video. If you use video wisely, it is done to demonstrate something to your audience, right? Audio is used to what? To express words, feelings, all of these things, which you will have your audience undivided attention. You know, and that's what it's all about building relationships, is that you create that emotional attachment to what you're doing. You create, people can hear you, right? People can hear you. You become like a part of their family. You become everything, because it's you and whomever you have on the mic with you that creates that unity. That relationship, guys, and it's more intimate than visual than you watching a video, right? A video have to have, you don't necessarily have to have some, but you just don't want to be sitting in a chair talking and there's no visual going on, right? Because then the distraction is simply going to be you. What clothes you're wearing, what's that on your head? You know, what is that, a wig, or you got a ugly hat on, and the clothes you're wearing is crazy. So it's a lot of distraction that go through people's mind that take their attention off of what you're talking about. So the best thing to do is start with audio. Audio give you an opportunity where people can actually hear your voice, and we'll help you with your voice training, get you up, get you going, and your voice can sound just as smooth as mine on these audio airways, guys. And so it's important we develop you from top to bottom to top. Right, Professor Mark?
Right. I was just thinking, again, when you're talking, I'm thinking my mind is processing, and you're talking about a voice on the radio or a voice, you know, from years, and person that comes to my mind is if you're from the Bay Area, you probably know Sal Castaneda, who's on KTVU. And for years when I was younger, when I was a kid, he was a faceless voice. You just used to hear him. They never had him on camera. And you'd hear his voice and hear his voice. And then finally they put him on camera. And I just remember all of these years, you listen to someone and build a relationship. Like you look forward to hearing him every morning. Cause I mean, that's the guy who's telling about the news and the traffic and stuff like that. And how even before I could see him, built a relationship with, cause my mom, my sister, before I'm going to school, we listened to him. And all of these years of not even seeing the man, but you build a relationship with them. So that's what happens over time. You hear someone enough time and, you're invested in them and they have evoked certain emotions. I mean, I'm my age. I mean, this is 20 something years ago and stuff like that. And I still think about it. So Brother Earl is right. You use all of the techniques and experience and concentrate on putting out good content and building a network, that can see you through many days and time, and eventually you'll mushroom and grow, and you'll have a large viewership that you can monetize and that you can just bring information to.
Absolutely, guys. So again, you learn to just like football and baseball, right? You have great people who are doing great things in any one of those sports, right? But again, what they are doing, you take a baseball player and you try to make a football player, it does not work, right? So learn the first things first.
Well, hold on.
Huh? Well, we had Bo Jackson.
Yes, and we had Deion.
And we had Deion, right?
A couple examples.
But how many more do you have?
I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't think we will.
Okay. First things first, right? Learn to master one thing first. And the other one becomes very, very easily done. So learn to master audio, because where we train you to use every word, every emotion to build that audience and get people really treat you like family, not in a bad way, because there are some families out there,
That's true.
But what we're seeing is, in order to grow, or to start with audio, and this is the best place to start with us here on audio at E&M Audio Media Services. It is important that you learn the tools of the trade, right? And then you can actually do both, but learn the audio, because then you will learn how to be the Pied Piper, how to use your words and your emotions to bring people along with you and create those kind of relationships that's going to last forever and a day. So when you have a product, a service, or just simply information you want to give to people are accepting the information that you give them. They will buy your products, your services, because they consider you a tight relationship and family. That's simply what it's all about, right, Professor Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking that we've been lamenting and talking about it. Now all of a sudden there's people jumping into this space wanting to do training, and hey, you're thinking, why should we use E&M? Go and look at the competition. None of them are talking about this. I mean, they'll talk about how to do it, this and that, but no one is bringing you how the nuts and bolts of how to get on this mic and be persuasive. Because again, you can get on, you can have a script, you can have the social media, you can have the web, all of the stuff that you need. You need that, but there's no one else bringing you it like this, where we are going to teach you to have that mic presence. Everyone else can do everything, maybe try to do everything, but they cannot replicate the mic presence training that we're going to give you, because you can get on there and just say a few things and have a smaller audience, or you can get in here and learn how to network using this platform and really bring the fire to where you're going to be actually building a brand that can attract people, because that's what we want to do. We want to help you build your brand. We want to be a partner in your growth and your development of having everything. Listen to this podcast, the music Brother Earl created. We have all the equipment, but no one else is going to develop you like we are, with a mic presence, so that you are building those bridges to new listeners and to new revenue streams. So that's what I think, Brother. What do you think?
Absolutely. So you learn to trust you on these mics, and you learn to use your great personality. That's what it's all about. And learning how to just have some fun on the mics when you're talking, right? It's a time to get serious, and then there's a time when it must be fun, right? And building that camaraderie with your people on the mics, people who listen to you. So having fun is one of the things, but you learn so much. You learn so much about you. And that's what it's all about. You can't be afraid to step into something, right? So now's the time to step in with us here at E&M Audio Media Services and be a part of something great. Don't let your life pass you by. Remember, days are passing by very, very quickly. Next thing you know, we'll be in 2025, moving forward, and you haven't accomplished all the things that you want to do. Now is the time. There's people all over the world waiting for your information to them, or waiting for your product to them that could solve their problem. And you have it and you don't want to give it to them. We're going to help you to give it to them through our media here at E&M Audio Media Services. Professor Mark, how can they reach us?
Well, you've heard it before. You hear it again, and you'll hear it again next show. It's MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. That is MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Reach out with your idea, with your interest, and let's find a way to work on it and grow your podcast into the next big thing.
Absolutely, guys. And remember, it's not going to grow without you. So sitting around and waiting on it to grow, it's not going to grow. It takes you to put in the work, learn about yourself with us, and learn how to be the hostess with the mostest, guys. And we train you on all those things, guys. So listen, guys, we're going to come back with the second half of this show. We're just going to take a little break, and then we'll be right back with some more here at E&M Audio Media Services. It's that time, guys, for you to get on the mic. Don't let everybody else get on the mic. You can get on the mic too and demonstrate, and let fans know, and be partnership with you, and have those great relationships, and want every product, everything you got going on, guys. So we're going to take a quick break right here. We'll be back shortly here at E&M Audio Media Service. Be right back, y'all.
Hey, are you a candidate, a political consultant, an organizer, or just a volunteer? Then this is the show for you. The art of highly successful, practical, commonsensical political communication. Political Campaign Success 1. Join us and listen to the masterful art of political communication and so much more. You can find the show at www.patreon.com/Political Campaign Success 1. That's the number 1. Again, www.patreon.com/Political Campaign Success 1. And you can also email us at tahspc@gmail.com. tahspc@gmail.com. A winning campaign can be achieved through effective communication and the right mindset. Join us now. This is an E&M Audio Media Services show. Hey, you have a great idea for an audio media show? What are you waiting for? Bring it to us at E&M Audio Media Services. E&M Audio Media Services is ready to produce, develop, and take your talent to the next level. Reach out to us at MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. I'll say that again. MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. Reach out to us today and let us produce your show for tomorrow. Hey everyone, it's Professor Mark. First, I want to say thank you for listening to all of our great content. We have a couple more shows we want to put you up on, and looking forward to you listening to them as well. First, we have the Master Communicator Show. You can find that at www.patreon.com/The Master Communicator Show. I'll say that again. www.patreon.com/The Master Communicator Show. We also have our first show, the E&M Audio Media Show. It's available on all your streaming platforms and podcasting platforms out there. Looking forward to you listening to those shows as well, and the many shows we continue to make in the future. This is from E&M Audio Media Services. Thanks. Welcome back. Just had a quick break. Everybody back, everybody ready. Again, I'm Professor Mark, along with my co-host, Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the Healing Voice. That last part, I can only do it so well. Brother Earl does it better, but that's his skill set. Earlier, we were talking about, what were we talking about? We're talking about building relationships, networking, using the podcast as a springboard to broaden your horizons, broaden your customer base, people who want to be interested in your product, whatever it is. But now we want to talk about personality training, mic training, that that special thing that you have to bring people in. I mean, we have competitors out there that shall remain nameless, but I'm sure you might have seen them advertising their wares, and they can do the nuts and bolts of this and that. And I mean, they can't even do that as well as us, because none of them are making the hot fire music that Brother Earl makes, especially. But they can teach you, plug in this, do that, this, that. But they cannot teach you. They cannot train you. And I encourage you to go look for yourself the mic presence. It's one thing to tell someone, I can write you a script, I can teach you how to turn the knob and all that. And that stuff's important. It absolutely is. And we have all of that already. So you don't need to go anywhere. But it's another thing to actually teach you how to speak. Because Brother Earl says, everyone can talk, but not everyone can speak. If you listen to our other show, where we talk about Political Success 1, which is on Patreon, the art of highly successful, commonsensical, practical political communication, which is an excellent show, especially if you're in the politics gang, you need to listen to. Especially one of our recent episodes where we were talking about, phone banking and scripts and, how to bring that to life. I bring that up because in political campaigns, if you've ever been involved, usually people give you a script and you can go read the script, and by trial and error, eventually, if you have, that kind of skill set, you'll learn how to use words and paint pictures and all of the different kind of things that Brother Earl. I won't give it all away. You need to go pay for that episode. But it's the same principle here with the podcasting game, where people will teach you, how to run the system and, what mics you need to get and all of that kind of stuff. But that's one part. The next part is actually being able to bring that personality on the mic so that people, one, will listen to you, but want to continue to listen to you. And that's not a given. That's some people have it naturally. Some people are just good at that. But most people, it takes skill. It takes time. It takes training. I mean, you go and look at articles now. I was just listening to something on the way here that youth, millennials, younger people, even people in the, existing corporate world, they don't have those soft skills. They can't talk to people. They're not personable. Everyone's, in their phone, texting and stuff like that. And social media is important to this game, but ultimately this is a game of getting on the mic and expressing yourself, talking about something and talking about it with passion. If you can't do that, if you're like, someone taking the nails over the chalkboard, or you're dull as paint, I mean, who the hell is going to listen to you? Because there are just so many other podcasts, but there's also so many other things that are vying for people's attention. I mean, I was reading an article today, and they're talking about the existing cable news people. The big, legacy media are dying off. They're losing to the new, YouTube. They say YouTube has become like a damn television network because there's so much content. So you have to know how to use that voice, how to have that mic presence, how to bring it on the mics to be compelling for people, want to listen to you and want to keep listening to you. Brother Earl, what do you think?
All of the above, because you cannot just do the nuts and bolts of things and just simply want to, we show you how to mechanics, but we have to show you how to operate you, right? There's a thing where the Motown, who put out all the greatest hits, Motown song, R&B, Barry Gordon, R&B and soul and all of that good stuff. Well, they taught you personality training, right? And that's what you need, because again, who are you talking to? You talking to fellow human beings, right? And learning how to woo. Woo is the word. People say woo your audience. And how do you do that, right? You must learn the skill. have personality training, all those good things, simple things that we train you. We train you how to have voice training, right? Just think, if you get on here and you don't have none of that kind of training, how do you think you're going to sound to people? You don't know how to use your positive personality. You don't know how to use your voice the right way that capture people. So people want to listen to you, right? You don't know how to use positive emotions, all of those things that we train you to have in order to what? Create a fantastic show, right? So all the rest of the people who are training people on podcasting and what have you, they training you the mechanics, right? You learning how to, we build you a script. You can get an AI script. Well, here's what we do. We train you how to take words on a script and give them life. Because one thing I do know is that you can't keep looking at a script and reading that to your audience.
You can't do that?
You can't. No.
You sure?
If you want to be the best at it, but you can do that if you want to be the bottom of the barrel of it, of doing this kind of work, doing this thing we call audio podcasting and podcasting in general. But what we need for you to do is learn your personal skills, and we train you on your personal skills. How do you resonate with people? How you can use your kind of voice. I know your voice can be as smooth as mine, but guess what? Your voice can be just as attractive as mine because I teach you those skills. And that's what you need to learn first before you even say one word on a mic, right? Learn how to use your voice in a way that's going to attract people to you. What you say about that, Professor Mark?
As often I'm thinking, and with that, can you give us an example? Can you just give us? I don't want to give too much away because they want all the secret sauce. They need to pay for it. Okay, you need to go and pay for that. We've got excellent episodes everywhere. Can you just give us one example of what you mean when giving words life? What would be an example that you can give? Concrete example of what you teach?
Well, I teach you how to use energy. Remember, everything in the universe is energy, right? And using positive energy, right? You're just not gonna say on the mic, today is a beautiful day. Okay. But if you want to enlighten your audience and get your audience to come along with you and getting them to register with you, right? What you're gonna say, today is such a beautiful day. Guess what? The audience can feel that. They can feel it, and that's coming from you. Remember, sounds are vibrations. Those vibrations hit a person's ear, and you emotionally bring them to you, right? But if you just say, today is a beautiful day, that has no emotions. That has nothing to it, right? In other words, it's not attractive. It's not going to move your audience. Your audience is going to click away or go somewhere else, right? But if you hold their attentions and light them up with, today is a beautiful, beautiful day, guess what? You can feel that because you start putting a smile on your face and that energy comes across on the mic, right? And guess what? When people start feeling good with your energy, they're going to be with you. Why? Because everybody loves feeling good, expressing joy, expressing happiness, expressing all of those things that you need to express to hold your audience, to build that relationship with your audience. But if you don't know this, you have no way of, you haven't taken the class from us, then you're going to sound humdrum. And this is not the arena you need to be in when it's humdrum. You need to have that high energy, but using that energy in a way that doesn't overwhelm, but brings that joy and connection with your audience. What you think about that, Professor Mark?
I think that I asked you for an example, and I'm going to give an example myself. Right now I am engaged in a political campaign in the Richmond area. If you know Richmond, Richmond, you're from the Bay Area. It's a little north of Oakland, basically, in Contra Costa County. And I won't name the campaign, but I would say I had to hire a group of phone bankers, people who are calling voters to educate them about this measure that we're calling about. And these people are experienced. They've worked on campaigns before, but I try to give them the best training I can. And of course, I have some of the training, but the ultimate trainer is Brother Earl. Again, that's another thing. You need someone to train you specifically on political communication. You need to reach out to us, especially Brother Earl. That's why, you go to The Art of Highly Successful, Commonsensical, Practical Political Communication, Political Success 1 on Patreon. You look that up, pay for that training. That's one thing. But I bring that up to mention about my callers that, in political campaigns, you get a script. Usually campaigns will give you a script and, take 10 minutes to look it over, and then you're on the phones. And, you get a lot of turnover, and people over time will learn through trial and error, but you've wasted all that time when they could have been trained already and been effective. So our whole big thing is no one can guarantee you what's going to happen, but with our training, with our skill, what you do is you highly increase the probability to where it's damn near yes, you're going to get the result you're asking for, whether you're trying to get a yes or no. So with my phone bankers, we're training them to give these words life, to paint pictures. A specific thing would be, the scripts are usually high as they're. Well, Brother Earl and I were like, no, you lead with their voice. Mark, hey, Mark, how you doing? I'm Mark calling, for X, Y, and Z. You have to, repeatedly use the person's name. You have to have that energy when you're talking to them, not just, reading the script word for word, because you have like 2 or 3 seconds to hook someone. So you use their name. You bring that energy. I'm bringing you this information about a measure that's coming up. Bring it with enthusiasm instead of, the use of humdrum. So that's when we talk about the presence. It's not just you being able to think on your feet, know the language, but you also have to have that mic presence to be able to hook people, because if you know the skills, more than likely you're going to be able to get that yes. And if you don't get the yes, you're going to at least have that conversation that's going to plant the seed. So when you call the person back, they're in the frame of mind, they remember what you're talking about, and then you're going to get that yes. So it's all about the mic presence. Again, you can get people who can teach you, the computer program you need and how to splice things and, help you with the music or do an AI generated script or whatever, and the mics you need to have, but that's all for naught if you can't bring it on the mic. If you can't bring that content, if you can't bring that personality, then what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Like Brother Earl, this isn't it for you. But if you don't have that skill set yet, you reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com, and we will help you with that. Brother Earl.
Absolutely, guys, you got to know what it takes in order to win people over, right? And learning about your personality, because you're learning simply about you. And that's what it's all about. How to use your own personal tools. Now what I do, I get you to take a look into your own personal tool chest, right? And you'll learn how to use certain words, certain emotions to move people over with you, and just build that camaraderie with people, right? And it's easily done through our training. Right? First, you'll learn the voice. You'll learn how to talk, right? And learn how to use your voice. Your voice is your advantage. Learning how to take advantage of your voice, right? Then we teach you on certain things about emotions, what emotions to use and what words to use in order to bring people along with you, right? And learning how to be a friend to yourself. You'd be surprised. A lot of people are not even a friend to themselves, but they're going to try to get on this mic and befriend other people. Oh, no way. It's amazing. It's a lot of stuff that you're going to learn about yourself and why it's so important you learn about what people hear, how they hear, right? What part of their body is listening to you, right? So I'm not going to give it all away here, but we want you to come learn the techniques of hosting, learn the techniques of personality, learn the techniques of winning people over. And it's absolutely very easily when you take the training first, because I would not turn you loose on a mic if you don't know how to represent what you need to represent, especially in you, to be the best that you can be to win people over, guys. So learning the great tools of you learn a lot about yourself. You learn about your voice, and you learn how to do a fantastic, I must say it again, a fantastic presentation with people every time you get on these mics. Professor Mark, tell them what it's all about.
Well, as always, I like to be grounded in fact and reality and giving people concrete examples, because we can say this stuff, Brother Earl and I are talking about our techniques, our experience, what we like to see, what works. But I like to give examples that people have seen recently. So the example that comes up is because I love politics so much is look at the debate between Biden and Trump. Now, Trump is incoherent and he's all over the place, but you can see the energy and stuff like that. He knows, he spent how many years, decades on television. He knows his way around the mic. But you saw President Biden and just how one performance led to him being replaced on the ticket, led to him not running for re-election. It was that crucial. And it just shows you and puts emphasis on how important your ability to communicate a message, and not just communicate the message, but communicate in a way that people understand, people can digest, people think is coherent, is important. Those messages are important. Think about the ads that you see on television, the ads on radio. They're all painting these pictures, especially if you're looking at an ad from fast food, because Brother Earl has been sending ads out and content to raise awareness on our product. But he sent one about a burger, and that will trigger me thinking about, you see Wendy's do commercials, you see Jack in the Box, you see McDonald's, and they're always painting pictures, not just with the images they have on the screen, but also the words. And especially if you're listening on the radio, they're using like big, juicy, tasty. They're painting these words in your mouth. Like right now I'm talking about it, my mouth is watering. They're using words and phrases that are going to trigger things. And if a corporation is doing these massive ad buys and spending hundreds of millions of dollars investing in it, a business is in the business to make a profit. So obviously these things work. There's a whole ad business out there based on words alone. That shows you how the power of words, that people will have ad budgets of millions of dollars to convince you to do something. And they're not putting this money in there because it's not working. Obviously it's working. So it's taking the training so you can master your words and breathe life into them, so you can get the outcome that you want, whether it's someone buying a product from you, buying a service, whether it's trying to persuade someone or convince someone, or whatever the word you want to use to get them to do an action. It's all about the words. Think about the Girl Scouts, or think about the people who you see outside of Safeway, trying to save the whales or whatever. They have this script that they've mastered, but also they're not looking at that script. They're putting their own unique skill set on it, because they've been taught and learned how to use words to get to take the message and get a specific response. So that's what we're masters at. We're master communicators. And that's our business, is turning you into a master communicator. Another show that we have. So Brother Earl, let them know.
Yeah, the whole idea of all of this, guys, is for you to learn how to do it the right way. How to be the greatest, or the GOAT, the greatest of all time in doing these things. Because again, you just don't want to do something to do it. You want to be the best at it, right? And being the best at doing something means learning every tool, everything you need to know before you jump on these mics, guys, because learning about you is what it's all about. And how can you discover yourself and how you can be great on these mics? Using your voice, using all the inner tools that you have, using your emotions and all of those things in the right time, right place, right space when you're on these mics, right? And how to galvanize people. It's very, very easy when you know the tools of the trade, as we teach you, in order to galvanize people, because you cannot be on this mic without having that kind of winnable personality that's going to bring people over. Because there's 9 million trillion people out there doing something, right? And and we all know, we click through people and go through real fast if it's not interesting or whatever, right? And again, not only do we train you on that level, but we produce your show. That's the other thing, right? We absolutely produce your show, walk you through it. What do you want to talk about? How to do that? And we help you throughout the whole entire process. We don't leave you just there doing the mechanics like most of these places do. They just have you doing the mechanic pieces and that's it, right? So learning about you learning about all of you, learning how your personality works, how you use your personality to magnetize people to you, galvanize people, learning how to use your voice to bring people along with you, and how people will stay with you. You know, how people are attracted to that and attracted to you, but you bring in so much joy, enjoyment, all of these things to people, and you learn that with us. You know, you learn all of these tools of the trade before we even allow you to get on the mic. And not only that, we start producing your show. We start taking, what's the name of your show, right? We're going to commercialize that name. So it's a lot of stuff. You need to contact us so you would know what we're going to do for you and come along with us, because we want you to be the best as you can possibly be, you know. And again, a lot of other companies out there will not do that for you. They will do the mechanics for you. They would charge you a lot of money just to edit your stuff, but they won't teach you the tools of the trade. How to bring people with you, how to talk that way that people are going to galvanize with you. You know what I'm saying? And how to have it so smooth that people are just simply totally attracted to what you got going on. Absolutely, guys. So we teach you all of these things, right? And you're going to learn more. Again, producing your show is one of the things, from top to bottom to top. When Professor Mark, talk about producing their shows, what are some of the other things that we will do in producing their shows?
Well, I mean, there's the music. The music you're listening to now, Brother Earl has an entire catalog of different music. So, you know, we won't have to go and sample some other music. You'll have the music ready for you. If you're remote, if you're not from the Bay Area, we can't get to you. It's, you know, you're Alaska, Paris, wherever the hell you are out there in the world. You just call in. We have it to where you can call in whatever medium you're using. You have, maybe it's a Zoom, maybe it's a cell phone, whatever it is. Call in and we can still get you on the mics and produce everything. So this can be done remotely. We have all the equipment. You know, there's programs you need to edit, to put things together. You know, the laptop, looking at the soundboard, all of the mics, the equipment, all of that kind of stuff we have right there. So if you want to do this in person, we can meet you somewhere, you know, find studio time. You know, that's a huge capital investment. This is thousands of dollars of equipment. So there's the music, there's the equipment, there's the mic presence, what we're talking about, the training, there's helping you advertise your business. This is a multifaceted thing. This isn't you just show up one day and just be on the mics. We don't do that. Maybe some other businesses will do that, but that's not how we do things. If we're putting you out there, we know that you're going to be a success because we've trained you, because we have everything that you need to be successful. All we need you to do is to email us at mediaem04@gmail.com with that idea, with that thought, with that nugget, that kernel of an idea that's going to sprout into something like that. That's all we need you to do. So everything else you could think of, we have prepared. We'll help you develop the script. We'll help you figure out how to, you know, if you want other guests on, what does that look like? How do you do that? You know, reaching out to people. We have everything here. All you need to do is reach out to us. That's what we have. That's what we provide for you. This is a one-stop shop. This isn't where someone's going to make the music for you, and then someone's going to do the mic presence and training for you, and someone else has to have the equipment. We have to go to the studio. We have it all under one roof. You can do it remotely. So all you have to do is reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com. And then if your thing isn't necessarily creating a show, if you're in the political space, if that's your thing, we're open for business. You know, if you need to have training, if you're in the corporate world and you want to learn how to speak better, we do that kind of coaching. We've got it all here for you. So all you have to do is reach out to us and let us know. Brother Earl.
Absolutely, guys. So contact us. Let's have a free consultation and let's talk about your needs, where you want to go, and what do you want to do in doing this particular business and getting yourself out there. Because again, this is where everything is going. Everybody is on their tablets, everybody is on their phones and everything. So you have to be in the mix, and being in the mix means what? Being on the audio show, having an audio show, because you can galvanize people. And guess what? You can make money off of your audio show. Right? So whatever it is, remember, information is power, and people be wanting your information. If you are someone who can bake or cook, right, you can have a membership show where people will come and they want to learn how to cook grandma's apple pie. You know what I'm saying? And you can actually do that and talk about that, why it's so important. And then people are supporting you. They can buy all your products, your services, your merch, all of these things that you done created another side business off of your business in reality, right? Because I know people now who I've trained, and they have dropped what they actually came to talk about and just strictly doing other shows and doing other products and other things. And guess what? In this business, you can really talk about other people's products. So whatever you want to talk about, anything you want to talk about, we can accommodate, right? But you must take the training from us so you can be the best that you can be. Don't just get on a mic. Don't just go buy something from the dollar store and decide you're going to get off into this business, because it's not going to work for you. It's a lot of training you need to do, and getting that training from us will help you to rise to the top and be the best that you can be, in doing what you need to do. And think of this as a fantastic journey with us here at E&M Audio Media Service, and we want to make that journey good for you as we move forward. So, Professor Mark, we getting ready to shut down. Any last word that you have to say?
I mean, this is something you really want to do. If you have an idea, you can make it a reality. This isn't something that is, out there, that's not possible, that isn't realistic. This is a realistic opportunity. All we need you to do is have an idea, whatever that idea is. The words that often in my mind when talking to Brother Earl is, there's an audience for every voice. There's literally someone out there that wants to listen to what you have to say, and is more likely and often than not willing to pay for it. And if they're not willing to pay for it, they're willing to join. And by joining, especially through YouTube, you get enough people listening, subscribing, you'll get money off of that. Just think about that. You have an idea. All you have to do is talk. All you have to do is speak, and speak well, speak passionately, and you get enough subscribers to where you will get a following, to where you will get money. Then the next thing is merch. Okay, you got your merch. Then if your show, once we grow your show and it's really well subscribed and people are listening to it, then you can get even more money by ads. Then the next thing is a Patreon. So there's so many ways you can take an idea that people really do want to hear and build revenue off of it. So all we need you to do is reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com, and also think about our Patreon, especially if you're in a political space, the Master Communicator Show. There's so many things we're doing over here at E&M Audio Media Services that we're ready to make you a partner with us to help you build your platform. So that's what I'm thinking, Brother Earl.
All right, guys. So we have so much more to do, and more shows, guys. We're going to have a show for you. It's called Tattooed Chicken. It's going to be a fantastic show. It's about health, guys. And listen, if your body is not doing what it's supposed to do and you're having problems, it's time to listen to Tattooed Chicken, hosted by yours truly and Professor Mark, coming soon, guys. So listen, I want to be here till I'm 100. And I know, guys, plus having the best life possible, not being in a lot of aches and pains and all those things. And you'll learn more about, hey, listen, what am I doing wrong to cause myself so much pain and all that kind of good stuff. So on that show, it's going to be very, very important. We talk about great things that helps us to be the best we can be, body wise, mind wise, and all of that good stuff. So listen, don't eat that chicken. Tattoo it, and that's coming soon. Be looking for that, guys. And again, pay attention, listen to. It's time for everybody to step up and get into the biz and become great at something. Learn to stretch it out and be more than where you are, and check a look out at what you want to do. And listen, there is always something that you know that other people would love to know. And this is one way to do it, through your own audio show with us here at E&M Audio Media Services. Guys, we're going to get ready and get out of here. You continue to have a fantastic day, and tell as many people as you possibly can about this show, because we want you to go out and have a great day, life on purpose, guys. Guys, we are out of here. Thank you guys so much. What you say about that, Professor Mark, real quickly?
We'll see you back on the next episode.
Thank you, guys. We're out. This is Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world, along with Mark Professor Williams. We want to say thank you so much for listening to E&M Audio Media Service Show. To contact us for your free consultation or any other questions that you may have, email us at mediaem04@gmail.com. Again, mediaem04@gmail.com. Be looking out for so many other shows that we have for you that are coming soon. Again, thank you so much for listening to the show, and you continue to have a fantastic day.